Okay, so let's we were doing trigonometry, just the ratios. Now we're going to put it in practice. But before that, you need to use your calculator. So take out your calculator, stop the video and take out your calculator. And when you're ready, just continue the video. So we are going to practice this. You have those in your booklet. So we are going to do sine of 15 degrees. Remember that sine, cosine, and tangent always go with the angle. And we used to call them theta. If you remember, I put it back and we call them sine of theta. But theta is the angle. Now they are giving us the angle. So let's put it in the calculator. So if I take my calculator out, can I put this, yeah, let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's check. So it says sine of 15. So your sine, first you need to go to mode and check that you have, this calculator is in radians, as you can see it here. So you need to change it to degrees. So you go to degrees and then press enter. Once that, you do blue and quit. Okay, let's do sine. So sine of 15. And it's 0.258. So we can, maybe I can write it here. What was it? 0.259. 0.259. And you can continue doing the other ones. I'm going to do cos. And then I'm going to show you the other ones. Okay, let's see. So then we have cos of 36, and that's 0.809. Now you can continue doing cos the 36, sine of 55, sine of 78. You can stop the video and do those. And then I'm going to show you how to do the inverse. So the inverse of the sine. So the inverse, that's to, now, this is used when they give us the sides and we need to find an angle. So here they are giving us the angle, so we can find the ratio. In this one they give us the ratio, so we need to find the angle. And you're going to see it later with the exercises we have. So to do the inverse, you do blue and sine, and just check, make sure that you have that -1 on top. And then it was 0.5, so 0.5, enter, and it's an angle of 30 degrees. Let's do cos, the inverse of cos of 0.23, and it's 76.7, the angle. Now you can stop the video and do the inverse of tangent. So today we are going, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to find the unknown side length of a right angle triangle using trigonometry. And as well, you should be able to find the angle of a right angle triangle using trigonometry. And for this, you need to remember the ratios. So sine of theta, cosine of theta, and tan of theta is sine of theta is in the opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Or remember as SOHCAHTOA. Okay, let's go to practice. So I'm going to solve this. So the first thing I need to do to solve the triangles, and they're asking me for a sine, as you can see here. So the first thing I need to do is label the sides. Let's do that. So this is hypotenuse opposite to the right angle, and then if I put my finger in here, this is touching the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So now this is the adjacent, and opposite to that angle is the opposite side. So I have done that, labeled the sides, choose an appropriate trigonometry ratio. So I'm going to write here again. So So I need to see what they are giving to me. So I know they're giving me the hypotenuse. Oh, oops. Okay, so if we have the Oh, it's not working. It's not working. Oh God. Okay. Here. So we have the hypotenuse, an angle, and the opposite. I'm not using adjacent, so this is what I need to have. So I need to have a ratio that have hypotenuse and opposite. So let's see. I think sine is going to work, like, because I have sine, and then I have opposite, and then I have hypotenuse. So I'm going to use sine of the angle, which is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So if I do that, sine of theta is the angle, so I put the angle inside, and then equals to opposite, but opposite is x over hypotenuse, that is 10. Now you know how to solve equations, so you can put this, you can put sine over 58 in your calculator and find that, or what you can do is, you can do that, but normally what I do is, this is dividing, and you need to leave x by itself, so 10 is dividing, so it's going to multiply, so I multiply by 10 in this side, and multiply by 10 in this side. Once I do that, those cancel, and then you will have 10 times sine of 58 equal x. So I need to go to my calculator. I'm going to do sine of 58 equals 0.848, and I'm going to multiply that by 10. 8.48. Okay, 8. So x is equal to 8.48. So that's the value of that sine. So we have find x here. Okay, let's do the next one. So first thing I need to do is label the sides. So if I label the sides, I need to do opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. I'm touching this angle, so I'm touching the hypotenuse, and I'm going to touch the adjacent, and the opposite to that angle is the opposite side. Now I need to check which ones I'm going to use. So what is I given? An angle, the adjacent, and the opposite. I need to check in SOHCAHTOA and sine, cosine, or tangent, which ones I have. And I have angle, adjacent, and an opposite. So I have opposite and adjacent, and all of them have an angle inside. So it could be any of those, but because I have opposite and adjacent, that's the ratio I'm going to use. I'm going to use tangent. So let's write. Let's change this color. So I'm going to have tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. And it's again changing colors. Do blue and see if it stays blue. And then we do tangent of 39, that's my angle, equals opposite, which is 8, divided by adjacent is x. Now you're going to solve this as an equation, and x is in the bottom, so that's dividing. So I need to multiply by x and multiply by x. And if I do that, those x's cancel, but I end up with x times tangent of 39 equals 8. But I need to leave x by itself, and it's not there yet. So I need to then divide by tangent in both sides. So I'm going to divide by tangent to get rid of this tangent here, but I need to divide that by tangent. And it's the same you have been doing. Oh my God, it's like 3 colors. It's cool though. Okay, so now that I divide in both sides, now I have that cancel, one on top, one on the bottom. So x equals 8 divided by tangent of 39. Oh, that's an A. So if I do that, let's see in the calculator what I get. Now, I did a lot of steps, but one of the steps that you can do, if you can see, is just swap So I'm going to put this in yellow. Let's see if that yellow works. If I swap, if I'm here, right, and I swap that x with that tangent, so tangent comes to divide and x comes in the top, you end up with this. It's like solving equations. Okay, so x is, so it's 8 divided by tangent of 39. And that's 9.88. 9.88 meters. And that's the way you solve for sides. I'm going to stop here, and then you can solve the exercises that you have. One, and then I'll go back for the angle. So just stop there, and I'll go back for the angle. Now we are going to find the angle this time instead of the side. So we have 3 steps to do. To find the angle, we need to label the triangle, so label the side. So let's do that for this one. So I just put my finger here. Opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse, or the longest side. Touching that angle is the adjacent, and opposite to that angle is the opposite side. So I have labeled my sides. Then choose the appropriate trigonometry ratio. So we go back to So let's see what they are given to me. So I have this, and they want for me to find the angle. So I have opposite and adjacent. From sine, I have opposite and hypotenuse. That doesn't work. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, doesn't work. But I have tangent, which works because it's adjacent, it's opposite over adjacent, and that's what I have here. So let's do that. So tangent of the angle is equal to opposite over adjacent. Now, the thing is, they're asking us to do the angle, and to find the angle, what you need to do is change this to the inverse, and you do the opposite over adjacent inside, and that's going to give you the angle. So let's move that as well. Okay. So to do this, then you will have, so that's the way you find the angle. So you does the inverse and put inside here, you put inside here the ratio. So opposite of this, so will be 5 over adjacent is 8 equals the angle. And you go to your calculator, and then you do blue and tangent. Oh, work, let's see. Blue, oh, it's not working. What's up? It's not working. Let's say blue. Why is it not working? Okay, so I think now it works. So you do blue. Oh, now it's working. Tangent, and then we do 5 divided by 8 equal 32, and that's the angle. So the angle will be 32 degrees. Now, if it is here, put a screenshot of my calculator for you to be able to do that. Now, let's do the second one. And the second one, we need to label the triangle. So let's do this. So I put my finger here. The longest side is the hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite. And again, I'll check what I have. So I have done this. Then I need to choose the appropriate trigonometric ratio. So let's check what they're giving me. So they're giving me the hypotenuse, the adjacent, and I need to find the angle. So what trigonometric ratio have adjacent and hypotenuse? That will be cosine, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So let's write that one. So I have cos of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse. But because we're going to find an angle, remember that you need to do the inverse. So you just write the same with the inverse equals the angle. So then you do cos of -1, which is the inverse, is adjacent, is 3.17 divided by 5.88 equals the angle. So I need to go to my calculator. Let's see if it works. So you do that one and then cos, what was the numbers? 3.17 divided by 5.88. 5.88. And that should give me an angle, and it's 57.4. 57.4. So the angle is 57.4, and that's the angle. And that's how you solve. Can you continue with the exercises and do question number 2 and 3? And this is, number 3 is a mixture of angles and sides. Try to please follow the steps. Hopefully, you should be able to do sides and angles by the end of this class.